Welcome back. It has been a minute since I've uploaded to YouTube. I'm really excited about getting back on here and creating content, so much so that I have a new series that I'm starting called Before You Add to Cart, which is basically just a chatty way to talk about new releases. We'll be sharing like thoughts on the products, talk about some ingredients, whether there's products similar to it on the market. And of course, I'm going to be sharing whether I think they're worth adding to your cart right away or just like, no, thank you. So that's the format. And we're going to jump right in with some makeup. And the first thing that we're going to talk about is the Saie SuperSuede Baked Eyeshadow. Saie has been around for a long time, but I haven't really tried very much from the brand, even though they have a very minimalist vibe, which is definitely my thing. It's just most of the products don't look interesting enough for me to try. Aside from like the super glowy gel, I've tried that. And these eyeshadows, they're not really calling out to me either. The colors are pretty enough. They're very wearable. We have a mix of matte and shimmer shades. But as far as colors, this isn't anything we haven't seen before. So it's not really unique in that front. Now, one thing we do have to ask ourselves is this clean eyeshadow formula going to perform? A lot of times, clean eyeshadows are underwhelming. Either they lack pigment or they just don't blend very well. So it'll be interesting to see how these perform. For me, these are definitely not an add to cart. It's more of a let's see what other reviews have to say. Next, we're going to talk about a product that is like a skincare makeup hybrid. It is the Glow Recipe PDRN Tinted Soft Matte Lip Blur Balm. So Glow Recipe is trying their hand at a matte lip balm. Now this type of soft matte blurring lip balm is not new, especially not in the K-beauty space. Glow Recipe tends to be a little bit behind typical K-beauty when it is developing products, so I'm not surprised that it's taken them this long. Now they are putting their own unique spin on the product by adding in vegan prickly pear PDRN. So you don't have to worry, you're not putting actual salmon on your lips. The vegan PDRN is supposed to help with barrier repair and hydration. I will say I am intrigued, but Glow Recipe has disappointed me a lot in the past. So much so that it would take a lot for me to give them any of my money. So for me, this product is a no thank you. Staying in the same vein, we have the Kulfi Lassi Lips Matte Blur Lip Stain. We're going to be seeing a lot of these like matte blurring lip products because that is currently on trend. Now this one from Kulfi is formulated as a stain versus just a lip balm like the Glow Recipe one. I'm not usually one for a stain just because they can be really hard to remove. But I do already like the idea of this lip product more than the Glow Recipe one. If you look at the Glow Recipe images, it had more of a dry, powdery look to the lips, almost like a velvet texture versus a true matte. The Kulfi ones are clearly matte, but they don't look as drying. Also, I find that the color options of the Kulfi ones are a little bit more appealing. I haven't tried these personally, even though they are already available, but they are looking really promising. So I'd say this is a pretty safe bet to add to your cart. We're going to take a minute and we're actually going to talk about Milk Makeup. They are launching a lot of new products, most of which are really just new versions of old products that they've already had. So they have the stick highlighter, bronzer, and then a lip and cheek hybrid. And just by looking at the product and the swatches, you can tell that these are much creamier than the originals. The old ones, while still in a stick format, they were a little bit stiffer of a product, which was great for like longevity and people with oily skin. Now, I like a thinner, more hydrating, more emollient product. I do wonder how much staying power these are going to have now that they've changed the formula, because as you know, more emollient products tend to have less wear time on the face. Milk Makeup, when they first came out, they really positioned themselves as like a unique and cutting edge brand, But there were several years where they had like a slew of misses, and I think they've been a little bit more cautious with their releases. And so instead of like setting trends and being edgy, I feel like they're more adopting trends. The issue is a lot of the times it's coming too late, and I think this reformulation of their stick products is another example of that. I think a couple of years ago, this really emollient formula would have been fine, but I think makeup trends are changing, and this is probably not going to be as popular as they were hoping it would be. So for me, this is a no thank you. I'm not going to completely like dump on Milk. There is one product from the brand that looks a little bit more promising, which is the Milk Makeup Line and Fill Lip Color. I think these have a really nice selection of shades. I'm particularly drawn to the shade Muse, which as you can see is a deep burgundy, which I think would be really lovely for fall. From the picture, it does look like this has a thicker point, and for me, that means you're going to lose some precision. So if I want to shape my lips, I need a pencil with a very sharp and small point. So I won't be rushing out to test these, but I will be looking for some reviews because I am currently looking to try to add to my lip collection. This is a lip heavy episode because I'm really interested in lip products right now. And Ciele is launching a Pigment-Rich hydrating lipstick with SPF. Now, I really love this concept because I'm an SPF girly, but most SPF lip products are truly terrible. I haven't found a single one that I like. They either sting my lips, or they have a bad texture, or they taste terrible. So if any brand is going to do a good SPF lip product, it really needs to be Ciele, since that is kind of their thing. Looking at the colors that are being offered, I'm really drawn to the darker shades like Margot and Bonnie. I'm not drawn enough to these to add them to my cart right now. I will be waiting for more reviews. We're moving on to skincare, which is hands down my favorite category. I'm a skincare girl. We're going to talk about Remedy Skin. They have several new releases that are coming out. I think there's like 4 new products, but I'm only going to be talking about 2 of them. The first is the Multi-Depth Moisture Advanced Hydrating Serum. That is a really long title. I really loved the prequel Multi-Quench Plumping Serum, which is formulated with glycerin and PGA. And I feel like this might be Remedy Skin's answer to the prequel product. It has a lot of similarities as they both have glycerin, ecotin, and PGA. But the Remedy has added more hydrators like sodium hyaluronate, as well as anti-aging peptides, which are huge right now. So I almost ran to add that to my cart, but then I saw they are releasing a copper peptide complex advanced firming serum. I love a copper peptide. I don't know why people aren't talking about copper peptides more, because they really are that good. So this copper peptide serum contains a lot of the same ingredients as the hydrating serum. You have the glycerin, the PGA, and you have the anti-aging peptides along with the copper peptides. So I've already actually ordered this. Like, since I took my notes and filming this, I've ordered it along with a couple of other products from Remedy Skin so that I can do a brand review for them on my blog. Continuing in skincare, we have the In Beauty Extreme Cleanse Milky Micellar Barrier Repair Cleanser. These brands are really keyword stuffing their product names. Now, this is one of those skincare releases that a lot of people are just going to keep scrolling by because cleanses are just not that interesting. However, I am interested to see how In Beauty is going to live up to this promise of removing makeup while protecting the barrier. Will this face wash clean, or is it going to leave a residue? I am going to be doing a test of a bunch of In Beauty Project products this September. This one is new, so it wasn't on the list of products that I'm going to test, but if you're interested, let me know. I might add it to my testing schedule. I'm sure you have been seeing this product everywhere. This is the Kiehl's 1cc Collashot Plumping Serum. This is the last skincare release we're going to talk about. I was actually sent this serum in PR from Kiehl's a little over a month before it was publicly announced. They went pretty hard on their PR campaign for this product, which is essentially a plumping serum to help with collagen loss, which is from aging, but also from GLP-1 usage. A lot of brands are getting in on that. I really love Kiehl's skincare, and I'm glad I was able to test this product. However, it's not a product that I would naturally gravitate toward. I wouldn't pick it up to test it myself because filler or a filler-like product is just not something that my face needs. I am going to be doing a deep dive review of this on my blog since I've been testing it for a couple of months. So if you're interested in hearing my in-depth thoughts about it, it will live there. I probably won't actually talk about it here on YouTube. So there we go. I quite like chatting about new releases, and I'm really looking forward to chatting with you guys more in the future. This is going to be the vibe of this channel. It's going to be very chatty, very commentary, and if that's your thing, I hope you subscribe, and I think we're just going to have a lot of fun, and I can't wait to hang out with you again.